Hey, I'm Traveon Samuel, and I'm a grad student. This is my social theory presentation. This PowerPoint presentation discusses the 5 different theories and how their concepts relate to globalization. Globalization, which refers to the interconnection and dependence of nations and cultures on a global scale, is a diverse and complex nation. It's a process that's been developing for centuries. It's really picked up its speed in the late 20th and early 21st centuries, mostly because of the development of technology, communication, transportation, and trade. Globalization has contributed to establishments of multinational organizations and formation of international trade agreements. Immanuel Wallerstein. Most people are familiar with him for creating the world system theory. He advocated looking at the globe as a whole rather than a collection of separate nations/states. The book describes his theory by stating it provides a framework of understanding globalization as a central feature of our time. There are 3 different types of subsystems: state, society, and culture, and interlinked markets forming capitalism. In Wallstein's reading called The Modern World System on page 613 of our book, he described the world system as a social system, one that has boundaries, structures, member groups, and rules of litigation, and also coherence. His theory holds that the world system is composed of core, peripheral, and semi-peripheral zones, with core regions reaping the most economic benefits for contact with the rest of the world, while peripheral countries are exploited and mechanized. This is the support in his modern world system. The world, the world economics are then divided into core systems and peripheral areas. There are semi-peripheral areas that are between the core and the peripheral. Globalization is strongly related to Wallerstein's world system theory, connecting with concepts of globalization since it emphasizes how global economics and political structure have changed through time and become interconnected. Global economics have become more interconnected and interdependent due to technical advancements and increased trade. There are very core countries in the globalized economy, such as China and Japan. These countries dominate global trade because they produce various goods and services. Other countries, such as the DRC and Ghana, can be classified as peripheral countries because they export materials that are used in products. Semi-peripheral countries include South Africa and the UAE, as they feature the peripheral and the core. The semi-peripheral countries have been trying to improve their academic conditions. They have been trying to move from research to donors. Wallstein's world system theory relates strongly to the concept of globalization as it shows the cooperation between core, peripheral, and semi-peripheral countries. David Harvey was a well-known marketer in social theory. He's written a lot about neoliberalism, geography, and urbanization, and the spiral dynamic of capitalism. His work of urbanization introduces the idea like urbanization of capital and spiral fix, which examine how capitalism alternates both space and urban settings. David Harvey explains the neoliberalism during the 1970s and replaced embedded liberalism. Neoliberalism reduces trade barriers and government. The dynamic spiral of capitalism and globalization are major topics covered by Harvey's research. He contended that capitalism is a fixed international system that always looks for new ways to invest and make money. Harvey's concept of neoliberalism is what led to globalization. Neoliberalism connects the concept of globalization as it encourages the formation of free markets and eliminates trade barriers. In a writer experts published by Harvey titled A Brief History of Neoliberalism, is stated that a capitalist world stumbled toward neoliberalization as an answer through a series of gyration and kinetic experience. He also talked about how neoliberal policies have shaped urban environments and accelerated globalization. Neoliberalism has led to many political and technical developments that have facilitated globalization. C. Wright Mills, sociologist, is renowned for the idea of sociological imagination. He underlined the significant coherence of connection between private issues and public connections. Mill held the view of greater social forces and institutions have impacted people's particular experiences. He argued that challenges faced by individuals are public issues. Mill explains that people may face very common problems such as hunger and disease. Wright's Mill idea of connection between the personal experience and broader political and social forces connects the concepts of globalization, inherited of the global village and the intermixed and intergranted. Therefore, they face similar problems. Common problems humans face include disease, inequality, war, environment degradation, hunger, and poverty. Other issues include mass incorporation, income equality, and health disparities. Those who experience various diseases should think about such diseases as global issues. They should understand personal problems as broad issues affecting all people in various parts of the world. For example, the COVID-19 pandemic affected many people across the globe. Healthcare professionals experienced many mental health issues during the pandemic. Peer Paradu explored various concepts such as habitus, social capital, and cultural capital. Paradu explored that habitus refer to the disposition, knowledge, skill, and habits that people accumulate through socialization. The habitus determine how an individual reacts in different situations. It determines how people navigate through the world, and the habitus also includes one's taste, preference for popular culture, art, clothes, and food. Changes often occur to habitus due to new experiences. Prepared whose concept of habitus relates to globalization. Globalization caused significant changes to habitus. People have been acquiring different behaviors, skills, and knowledge due to interactions they have with those from different countries. For example, the domestic habits of British that have been changed due to immigration. According to League and Hartman 2017, the habits in the UK is being reshaped. Organizations have been hiring workers from different social backgrounds. Workers have brought their acquired habits and different dispositions and knowledge to the organization. Globalization has significantly affected individuals' disposition and acquired habits. Token Pearson is well known for his contributions to structural functionalism. Though his work is not directly attributed to globalism, some of his concepts can be related to the study of globalism. For example, a system theory was created by Pearson that focused on independency and equilibrium of social systems. Pearson explained very functional imperatives of systems. These include functional pattern maintenance, goal maintenance, and adduction. Pattern maintenance will ensure that institutionalized value remain the same. It would enable societies to uphold their pattern, norms, and value. For systems that remain the same, they had to establish objectives, sustain value, and adapt to change. Pearson's theories of social adaptation help explain how globalization drives change in nations. His idea that systems adapt to achieve goals is seen in how countries adjust economic and political policies like adapting democracy in response to global pressure. Globalization facilitates changes often influenced by powerful nations. This presentation discusses 5 theories and their relevance to globalization: Wallstein, Harvey, Mills, Purdue, and Pearson. The author argues that Wallstein's world system theory is the most useful and powerful for understanding globalization. It provides a structural and historical framework highlighting the relationship between core, peripheral, and semi-peripheral regions and the unequal distribution of wealth.